Good evening, CNU fans, and welcome to another edition of Sports Talk with Rags here in Season 5, Episode 17. And we are honored here to be joined here by another second time he's been on here, Coach Harvell. Appreciate your time coming on.
Absolutely. I appreciate you inviting me again, Mark. It's always a pleasure.
Sure, no problem. And let's start at the beginning. I mean, hey, CNU football. Let's see. I see that they're celebrating the anniversary of when they started their program, and always great to always when you celebrate, a milestone in the program, and you win the conference, going to the postseason.
Yeah, I mean it's an exciting time right now for the football program, and I'm really excited because I've actually started my first year there when they started football. So I've seen every year of CNU football. I know what they've been going through, ups and downs, and this is a special year. I mean they're 10-0, they're number 6 in the country, and those are things that have never been accomplished with this program. So to see it evolve and be where it is now. I'm just really proud of that group and Paul Crowley, who played at Christian Newport, and I want to say he's from the South Side. So to have another former player coach and to take this program to new heights has been really fun to watch.
Yes, yeah, and with you being an alum, being a head coach. I mean, do you guys have time to support the other sports there in the athletic department and work as one team?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially when it's not during our season. So right
Right.
now, with us being a spring sport, we've been able to get out and see a lot of games. I mean, last weekend I was at both games for the field hockey who left this morning for Connecticut for the Final Four. So, we try to all the coaches support each other, and we try to get out to as many games as we can.
Yes. Yeah, and so how was the fall here for CNU baseball?
It was good. I mean, again, the D3 dynamic in fall baseball is so, I guess, untraditional. When we're allotted 24 days in the fall, whereas to when I had the job 26 years ago, we were allowed 5 weeks. And then they limited us to 16 days in one game. And now it's 24 days in one game. So, and you can bank or save up to 12 of those days and put them on at the beginning of the spring, which, if you think about it, especially from a pitching standpoint, is much more beneficial to at least save some of those days. Because if we didn't, we would probably have to start practice 2 weeks before our first game. So we were able to save up to at least 10 days. So we're going to start 10 days earlier in January, which I think and hope that will allow our pitchers to get that extra time to get their arms ready. But overall, the fall, like I said, we went 14 days, saw a lot of good things. It really gives us a chance to see the new guys, the freshmen and the few transfers we did get in, and watch them perform and compete against the guys we have back. And so we're really excited about the new guys we got in and putting them with the guys we got returning. We're really excited about the upcoming year.
Yes, and here we are a week before Thanksgiving, and then a few weeks after that, then it'll be Christmas, New Year, student athletes finishing up classes, then the exams here for fall semester. But right when we turn the calendar to 2026 and everybody get ready for when they come back on campus, it's going to be get ready here for the 26th season.
Yeah, exactly. And when I meet with my players individually after the fall, the first thing I tell the freshmen is, I find out how they're doing and how they're enjoying it. They're like, "Hey, coach, this is kind of going by fast." And I'm like, "Well, you wait till the springtime. 40 game season, it's going to fly by. So try to enjoy it." But yeah, I mean, we leave for Thanksgiving break next week, and then when they get back, they have a week of classes and then exams, and so they'll be gone by December 12th, 13th, and then they'll return January 12th, and we start practice January 15th. So it's going to be quick.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, you know, how how is it for you? I mean, not only are you getting ready here, this spring will be your 26th season, but you reference the football coach being an alum. Well, here you're an alum. I mean, so just talk about here where, you were once a student athlete there at Christopher Newport, and now leading the program.
I've said this a lot, and to be able to come back and coach where you played
Yeah.
is like the ultimate compliment. And we're at CNU. We probably have 6 or 7 coaches that actually played at the university. And for me especially, I was the last class to graduate known as CNC.
Okay.
And when I was there, it was just a commuter school.
Right.
And I was fortunate enough to play baseball and basketball. So
Right.
you would go to class, then you go to practice, and you go home because there's no campus life.
Right.
So when I got the job in the summer of 2000, the campus was actually still intact from when I was a student there. And
Okay.
so to see this whole transformation, I am one of probably a handful of people that can really appreciate and seeing where this school was to where it is now. And in my 26 years, they've been building every single year. So, I'm really proud to be an alum, and I'm even more proud to be able to come back and contribute to the success of CNU athletics.
Yes, and also here, you know, the program. I mean, during your leadership, definitely, great years there in 2000, and then there in 2016, 2019 when number 11 Jordan Mason was playing for you, and then Connor Clark comes on the heels of Jordan, and so just with knowing those two families, paid close attention, and then the pandemic, but now we're a few years after that, and it's ready. I see the first home game February 10th.
Yeah, those guys you mentioned, they've actually make me look pretty good. Um, and I tell you, we have another one from over there that you're probably familiar with, Logan Adams, who
Yeah.
who had a phenomenal fall for us. And I think he's going to be a name that you're going to be mentioning quite often too here in the future. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be here before you know it. And we're fortunate enough. I think we have 24, 25 home games this year, and we start that weekend of Valentine's weekend. So it's going to start and won't stop hopefully till the end of May, beginning of June.
That's right. That's right. And we point out Jordan. We You bring up Logan. I mean, yes, they did play for Coach Wright, but longtime Coach Wright assistant and a CNU alum there, Aaron Bailey.
One of my all-time favorites. He played on my very first team, and you're talking about an individual who has probably had the biggest impact on my program from a recruiting standpoint, and been a big supporter and a big promoter of our program. So the nice thing about having him and Roland as well is whenever we know we get those kids from Western Branch, they're going to be prepared because those guys prepare those kids for the college level. So it's really nice to have those people like that in your corner.
Right. Yeah, and the thing is I mean, they're in conference. I mean, you guys and Salisbury, always have competitive teams go up against each other. Even Mary Washington has a competitive team, but just the schedule that you make for your team to challenge challenge your team and to get them better so that you are playing there in the end of May into June.
And that's one thing that we as a staff, we were committed to in the beginning is that, these guys want to get to a certain point and level of playing that, and we're going to have to actually schedule these teams so they can see what they're up against. So we've done a very good job over the years in scheduling teams to where if we're fortunate enough to make the NCAA tournament that we're prepared. The one thing that we've taken part in the last 5 years, we were one of the initial teams, is the D3 Showcase, which is at the end of February.
Right.
Last year there were 6 teams in it. Every
Right.
team has been to the World Series, and 4 of the teams have won the national championship. So you get a taste, and you're going to find out where you are right away. So, I think in the situation that we're in conference-wise, we have to continue to schedule that way so we can put ourselves in position to get that bid, because we don't have the automatic right now. I think we'll get it back here in the next couple of years, but not having the automatic, it's that much more important to schedule the way we do.
Yeah. Yes, because just like any level of college athletics, I mean, when you're going for an at large, every program, every sport looking for that strength of schedule and scheduling out of conference.
Absolutely. And then what they've gone to now is actually called the NPI.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's all these schools have really gone to that, and you have to be even more careful now on how you schedule, because there's no really selection show, and you can find out based on your MPI the night before the selection whether or not you're going to get in at large, because
Gotcha.
you just go down the list and take out the automatics, and then you know how many positions are still left. So we've taken that into account, but we really haven't had to restructure how we schedule, because we feel like we've always scheduled in a way that we were competitive enough to where we're going to get enough points to play. But again, you still got to win.
Right. Yes. And how was the last couple years here for your program, and as you springboard here into 2026?
Well, in 24, we lost in the Super Regionals to Misericordia, who ended up winning the national
Right.
championship. And at the time, we had Dylan Weber, who was first team All American, led the country in strikeouts, ended up taking his 6th year and playing at UNC last year.
Mm.
And then Brandon Cassidy, who was in the top 5 in the country, was able to go on to George Mason and actually get signed last year by the Astros. So losing those twos didn't help. So, last year, the pitching, after the fall, we felt really comfortable where we were. And for whatever reason, the pitchers, we just didn't get it done on the mound. But position-wise and offensively and defensively, we were very good. And we've got 90% of that back this year. So we're very, very optimistic and excited about the chances ahead of us, coupled with the recruits that we got in and the kids that we have back. We feel really confident that we're going to be there at the end.
Right. Yes. And that, I mean, even before the transfer portal and everything, I mean, those during the pandemic, student athletes, getting that extra year, moving on, they're, working towards their masters, moving there to D D1 programs, or but it's good to see here where kids moving on with their master's program, and being continuing their success.
Oh yeah, we've been we've been a great JUCO for the Division Ones here the last couple of years, because Division 3 players actually got 2 extra years because of
Oh,
COVID.
okay. Okay.
So the majority of the Division 1s, I mean, why wouldn't you want to take a guy that's had 5 years experience? And
Right.
so, and a lot of them, like last year in North Carolina's lineup, I believe they had 3 Division 3 players starting for them.
Wow.
These are guys that had played 5 years already. So it really benefited them. But now last year was probably the first year or this year without COVID kids. So you're going to
Oh,
start seeing that level out a little bit. And as far as the transfer portal goes, it doesn't really hurt us as far as losing kids.
right.
We definitely benefit at our level more so from getting them than losing them, and even more so now with the Division 1 and their restrictions on the roster limits, which come here in the next 2 weeks. That transfer portal is going to really ramp up with all these D1s who have to have their roster settled by December. So
Oh,
it's going
gotcha.
to get interesting.
Gotcha. And I know that you guys have a indoor facility. I was telling and know when we rode out there to watch you guys play when Jordan was Jordan was playing, there was that those nets along the left field line, and it's always good here to, even you being a head coach looking to better your program, better your product, so any other future
Oh yeah.
improvements there for the
It's
baseballs.
funny you bring that up. Actually, I had a meeting this past week with a company called Aware, and we're going to install 7 cameras in the stadium
Oh,
to where
nice.
the kids can, download the application, and we can videotape practices, scrimmage games, and they can pull out all their performances and watch them and evaluate themselves. And also after this year, it's going to break my heart because I'm a big fan of our wood wall.
Yeah.
But the NCAA says that you have to pad all hard surfaces.
Okay.
So we're going to, after this season, we'll be taking down our wall, and I got a little business going on back here, fence and padding. So we're gonna have a padded wall next year. So I'm excited about that. It'll give it a new look. But again, I'm a little sentimental with the wood wall. I always thought it gave it character.
Right. Well, and the other thing is, probably safety. I mean, I
Yeah.
know with the wooden wall, I mean, just tradition and everything, probably, somewhat a little bit safer there with padding those the walls, and you got those outfielders running hard here and getting ready to ride those home runs.
Oh yeah, and you know what? Believe it or not, that field was built in '04.
Okay.
So in the 21 years or 20 years that we've had that, believe it or not, we've only had 2 injuries.
Wow.
And I don't know if that's because the kids are aware of it more and they probably pull up a little sooner. But we've been real fortunate as far as the injuries go in that wall, because you're right, it could have been a lot worse with kids running into that wall hard. But yeah, it's going to be a little heartbreak. But I'm excited about the new fence and the new padding. I think it's going to give it a different look. And I would venture to say in the next couple of years there'll be lights out there as well.
Okay. That'll be good. Then also any winter camps here for the program.
Yeah, we do. Now that we have the indoor facility, we do hold a winter hitting camp. We offer 8 sessions. Each session is 2 hours long, from ages 5 to 13. Actually, to 18. We have a lot of high school kids come,
Okay.
and we're able to run. And we cut it off like at 20, 25 kids in each session, so we can maximize the space and the teaching. So last year we started that. We had over 80 kids there, so it worked out really well. So we're going to run that again, which will be the last weekend in December and the first weekend in November or January.
Okay.
So we've been able to do a few little things with this new facility, but we're real fortunate to have administration that really believes in athletics, and with the direction of Bill Kelly, our president, and Kyle McMullen, our athletic director, we were able to finally get this indoor hitting facility, which is as good as anywhere, and I've seen quite a few.
All right. Yes, and when you talk about, when you were a student athlete at CNC, being part of baseball and basketball, and as we move in to the winter months, I mean, CNU men and women's basketball, I mean, they've certainly been consistently top notch here the last few years.
Oh yeah, I mean, and that's one thing that I tell all recruits when they come to CNU is that our athletic department as a whole, it does a lot of winning. I mean, for the last 11 years, with our 24 sports that we have, I think our winning percentage last year was like 74, 75% as a whole athletic department, which ranks number one in the state for like the last 11 years, and that's counting UVA, that's counting Tech and James Madison. So there's a lot of winning. But if you've been on our campus,
Yeah.
you've seen the facilities that we have, and we definitely have the necessary means to be successful.
Right. Yes, and any let's see, when spring break is, there in the first or second week of March, any plans of going out of town there during that week there during spring break this year?
Traditionally, what we do every other year, we'll go down to Myrtle
Oh,
Beach for a week.
okay.
We went last year,
Yeah.
so we won't go this year. And we're fortunate enough to have at least 6 games that I know of for our spring break week at home, which is nice. But yeah, we try to go somewhere every other year, and it's nice to go to Myrtle Beach. It's not a far trip, and yet we get to play teams from all over the country. So that's just something we try to do every other year.
Yeah, and here in the mid Atlantic, I mean, not only just within our state, but here in the mid Atlantic, I mean, from Georgia here all the way up to Maryland, I mean, there's some good D3 programs that definitely not too far and tough competition.
There's some phenomenal programs, especially in the state of Virginia. Can you imagine if we were to join the ODAC, coupled with already you got Lynchburg, who will probably be preseason number 1 or 2 in the country. You got Randolph Macon, and then you got Shenandoah, and you got Bridgewater, who should have a good year. I mean, it just the baseball. A lot of kids, especially, and I tell this when they come to our high school camp in the summer. You know, don't assume you can play somewhere. you
Right.
know, go watch them play and then be honest with yourself saying, hey, yeah, I can play at that level, or no, maybe I need to try to find somewhere else, because there's a place for everybody. There's almost 400 Division III schools alone. So
Good.
you add that with the Division I, twos, and junior colleges, you have close to 1,000 options. It's just a matter of you finding the right fit. But Division III is very, very competitive, and we have some very, very good programs, like you said, up and down the East Coast.
Yes, yeah, and there how the postseason is, to have a regional, have a super regional, and then have the World Series. I mean, it's formatted here just just similar here to the other levels.
Oh yeah, I mean, we've gotten probably 4 or 5 teams just in the state of Virginia in Division III that have been to World Series.
Right.
So I mean, like I said, they've all been at a chance to taste it. And originally when we went back in 2002, my second year, I was, you think, if you get there, you might be satisfied, but no, it makes you want to come back for more. So we've been fortunate enough to go to 3 World Series and play for the national championship. So we don't have any problem telling any kid that steps foot on our campus, if you want a great education and you want to play at the highest level and compete for a national championship, CNU is the place to be.
Yes, and also, Coach Harvell, I know I've known you for a while, but there when you were over at Woodside, what just an opportunity came where to go to CNU and lead the program there.
Well, when I was in high school, when I coached in Woodside, I didn't really ever think going to college.
Okay.
Because I always felt like, I love teaching,
Yeah.
and I felt like Woodside, we were going to win every year.
Yeah.
So it never really entered my mind. But my former basketball teammate at CNU, John Waters, who's now the AD at Lynchburg College,
Okay.
um, showed up at my doorstep one night. And I was like, what are you doing here? And he said, can we talk? And he said, their coach is getting ready to go back to Iowa to take an AD's job, and want to know if I was interested in the job. And not until that moment did I ever think I was going to be coaching college.
Right.
But I always felt like seeing you could win.
Yeah.
And, I felt like, having coached in the state of Virginia high school wise, and in the state tournament against those Northern Virginia teams and Southside teams, that's the first thing I did when I got the job. Those are the places I hit, because I knew what kind of baseball was there. And I felt like if I could get some of those guys, that we could be competitive on a national level.
Yeah, and the thing is, one of the ways that you stay consistently, top notch, and is your staff, and WIS has been with you for a while now.
And that's one thing you really don't see a lot at Division III level. Coach Wiss has been with me for 22 of my 26 years. And then my pitching coach, Ron Frazier, has been with me for 23 of my 26 years. And the 3 years he was not with me, he was overseas teaching or coaching professionally. So we've been together for a long time. And there's a lot to be said for that. And we all get along and we all know what each other's thinking. And we're all on the same page. So that's been nice.
Right. Yeah. And the other thing is it shows consistency, there when kids, come to your camps or recruits, come on come on campus, and especially with college sports nowadays. I mean, much less to have a head coach there for more than 5 to 10 years, but then to have his, two main assistants, there for 20 plus years, that's always a good sign.
Oh yeah, and I guess early on in my career, I would always get the question, how long are you going to be here? Are you planning on leaving? I never had any intentions of ever leaving. I always felt like I had the best job in the world. I love the people I work for. I love the school, and my family's from this area, so there was really no need for me to ever venture off anywhere. And fortunately for me, the Coach Wissinger's from Virginia Beach. And Coach Frazier's from Newport News, who lives now in New Kent. But I mean, we're all from this area, which makes it nice and a lot easier.
Yes. Well, hey, Coach Harvell, I know that the fall is busy, and not only do you have a fall program to run, or this year with CNU football, but I know there on the south side, there's always time to make another college football game.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen you at one this year, but it's been exciting. My wife shared at Old Dominion, so we've had season tickets, and it's been a really good year. It's been a lot of fun going over there, and I'm excited to see how they finish up these last 2 weeks, and it's very possible they could finish 9-3. So I'm hoping they get a good bowl matchup, and hopefully we can make it to it.
Yeah, that'll be nice. I know that Elizabeth and I have been busy this fall, but definitely been paying attention. And so thanks for your time. And any last minute tidbits here as opening day is February 10th for CNU baseball.
No, I just appreciate everything you do and promoting the local coaches around here and getting the word out about each program. So I really appreciate what you do, and I look forward to you come out and supporting Logan this year. And I'm really excited about him and what he could do for our program.
Right. Yes. Well, hey, Coach Harvell, thanks for your time and sharing your story, and then also most important here with CNU athletics, and then your baseball program. So go Captains, and we'll talk to you later.
Absolutely, and thanks again, Mark.
All right. Sure thing. All right. Bye-bye.
All right.